Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Well, I'm joined today with Cal Wakelin from Wildside Outdoors. So Cal, first off, it is bear season because, people are going out camping and hiking. So what are some of the best things that campers can do to avoid bears when they do go out?
Just to start off with, first of all, our store has got customers coming in 8 to 10 times a day complaining about the amount of bear activity that's happening. And so I try to talk to them and explain what to do and all that kind of stuff. We do carry stuff. So the number one thing to carry is bear spray. I got that stuff in the store. This year, for instance, has been the best year for bear spray that we've ever had. There is an unbelievable amount of bears out there, and they're everywhere. Campsites, farmers' yards, guys are out fishing along the river and they're constantly getting bothered by bears. I had a lady come in the other day and she was in her garden on her knees picking weeds, and a bear walked across the other end of the garden just 20 feet from her. And so, it's been a really big issue this year, especially. So like I say, the bear spray works really, really well. They have to be close. This thing shoots out to 30 feet, but I'll tell everybody, shoot it at 20 and closer and shoot them in the face, and then that will deter them. There's no doubt about it. Another one to use too, we got bear pens. So these things are a banger, and you shoot them out over top of their heads, and it gets out there 20, 30 feet also, and it's one big boom. It's like a gun going off over top of their head, and a lot of the times they'll disappear on that one too. I've been around bears a lot in my lifetime, a lot. And if you run on a bear, if a bear comes charging at you, you should never run. It turns you into prey instantly. The best thing you could do is start yelling and make yourself big. Throw your arms up in the air and start yelling and hollering, whoa, 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 whoa. And then all of a sudden, 99.9% of the time, they will stop. They do a lot of things called bluff charge. And the bluff charges usually stop at about 20, 25 feet, and then they'll stand their ground. Then usually they'll walk away. Keep in mind that a bear, if normally they see you, they don't want to stick around. They usually get gone. But of course, in the campsites and whatnot, they have issues there, and lots of food around and that kind of stuff. I have an incident where a customer come in, he was talking about a fridge that they had left outside. Big mistake. Don't leave anything that's got food in it. Don't leave it outside. Their camper and their deck and whatnot ended up getting ripped apart and that kind of stuff. So another thing to do for your campers out there, when you have your barbecues outside, you're asking for trouble, guaranteed. The best thing that brings a bear in is the smell of that cooked food. And they will have that barbecue laying on the ground, and they'll be all over your yard or your campsite or wherever, and they'll cause you some major grief. So keep all the food away from them. Keep it locked up. Keep it where they can't get at it and that kind of stuff. Guys with barbecues, if you have a shed, put them in that shed every time you leave, because they will get on it.
What's the best thing for people to do to protect their campsite to avoid attracting bears because of all the cooking or all the food that is being left out?
Same thing there. Keep it all inside of coolers and that kind of stuff, and put it away inside vehicles or that kind of thing. Back in the day, of course, tenters and all that kind of stuff, they hike their stuff up into the trees to make sure that the bears don't get a whiff of it and whatnot. Again, bears can climb trees, but at the same time, to get it high enough, that scent never gets to the ground. So therefore, the bears don't come around. But it is the best thing to do is get all of that food put away when you say you go to bed at night. Get it all put away inside your car or your camper, and leave no stuff outside. I know even kids out eating, say, an ice cream sandwich or something, and they throw that paper on the floor or on the ground. Again, they have a nose like you would never believe. They will come and check it out.
Now, if someone happened to be camping alone and they don't have bear spray per se with them, is there any number that they can call if they are at like a national park that can, give them some guidance or some assistance?
Yeah, you can. I tell you, they don't do a lot about it. because of course that's their living grounds, that's where they live, and so of course the wardens don't do too awful much about it. If they're in a campsite or something like that, you get a hold of the wardens. The wardens will come out. 90% of the time they'll never ever shoot them. They usually will set a bear trap up, and if they do catch them, then they take them out and into a different area, like quite a long ways away, and then they'll let them go. They do trank them too, off and on, if they are a problem bear. Most of the time they tag them to make sure that they know that if they're coming back, it's that same bear that's coming back, and then they'll trank them and take them somewhere else. But a lot of the times they don't kill them, they just get them out of there.
Well, Cal, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining me today and giving us some great tips on how to protect ourselves when we go out camping or hiking. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.